Stand by for Titanfall. Guys, hello, this is Whitecracker here. I'm going to give you some updating news on Titanfall 2. This is North Star, one of the weakest, but also skillless person you would ever come to for a Titan. He can hover, he can fly. His primary weapon is a sniper. And yeah, let's get into it. He is very fast, but very low armor. His damage is very low, but he has a lot of skills that it's kind of like a phase for a Titanfall, like phase clan Titan. But yeah, let's get on to its abilities, its core, and its where he stands out. Obviously, he stands out the most because he is a flying Titan, which the other 5 Titans are ground Titans. So let's get on to the Titans and his abilities. Here we are with the abilities. So you got a cluster missile, explodes on impact, vertical hover, takes off of a hover, obviously. Mines that lock down nearby enemies. So it's like a trap, kind of like a bear trap, but not really. It doesn't hurt them, it just keeps them in place. And then here you go. You got Flight Core. Jumps up in the air and unleashes rockets at targets below. Which I feel like the cores are weaker, obviously, because the Titans are more powerful now because they got an upgrade, obviously, if you didn't get that update. But they the core that I see, I don't know, it could be a really good ambush Titan if you have a good teammate and work together well. So there you guys go for North Star and of his apparel and also abilities. Let's move on to the next one. This guy is named Ron. Very up close and personal kind of Titan. Guys, he has a shotgun, which is a 3-barrel shotgun, obviously, as you can see from the picture. Very slow, very fast, but hitting his armor is terrible. But guys, guess what? He has a sword. Yes, guys, you heard it right. The first Titan ever to have a sword, and it reflects incoming damage, and also is very, very, very powerful. But he takes a lot of skill to practice. Let's get to his abilities. But before we do that, I wanted to let you guys know I might be using this Titan a lot when it comes out because he seems a little bit interesting. But I still gotta show you one of my favorite Titans of them all. So let's get to the abilities. So this is his abilities. He has an arc wave, which stuns stuns the Titans. He has a phase dash, with what that dash does makes them dash into another universe, but you can't, they can't see you, but you can't see the person unless if they phase dash as well. Sword block, as I told you, he brings out the sword and blocks incoming damage. Also, his core is sword core, which makes him bring out a sword and does massive damage to his enemies near him. Which that seems pretty exciting, but you have to be very careful on what you do with that sword. So, anyways, guys, this is Ron and his abilities. I want to get to Scorch, which you guys probably know his abilities, but let's get on to it. Here we go. Scorch, one of the heavy damage dealers, but also need to be having berry skill. He is a thermite specialist Titan, which thermite cuts metal like butter, as you guys know. So his gun is very, very damaging, but also you have to be careful with his shots because as soon as you shoot that, he has to reload like a shotgun. If you guys played the tech test, he was in the tech test, and he was one of my favorites, but not as much as Ion was in the tech test, of my opinion. He is very slow, but heavy damage and heavy armor. Do not mess with this guy, and do not underestimate him, which he is very, very strong for his Titan. So let's move on with his abilities. His abilities, a firewall, which if he slams to the ground one time and leaves a little small area of fire down the way. incinerate traps. What I usually do is if anybody's coming up to try to ambush me, I throw those down, and then I use my firewall, which does massive damage and leaves a big lava pit where if they run across it, they will be dealt with a lot of damage. Thermite shield. If anybody tries to come on you in front of your face, you can easily kill them by bringing up that shield. And if anybody shoots at you, and if you bring that up, it does damage to them instead of doing damage to you. And last but not least, flame core, which makes them do an ultra slam of fire down anybody's path, decimating and destroying anybody in its path. Let's move on from Scorch and let's get to Ion. Welcome guys, this is Ion, a energy based Titan, which his gun packs a good punch. He has 2 modes for that gun. As you aim down your sight, it goes into a splitting rifle going in 3 directions. If you do not do that, it goes in one direction but does more heavy damage. He was in the tech test. If you guys have not played him, his speed is medium speed. His armor, medium. He's a very good Titan to start off with newcomers. And let's get to his abilities, shall we? His abilities. A laser shot, which brings out 1 laser if you have an upgrade, maybe 2, which decimates any pilot in its path. So it's like a little laser on his shoulder. It does small damage to Titan, but does a good part of damage. Tripwire, defensive, throws out a Titan-sized tripwire to do medium-sized damage to the Titan. Vortex shield, blocks and returns any incoming damage. So it holds the bullets and shoots it back at the person. Laser core, a big giant chest laser coming from the Titan's chest, doing tremendously outstanding damage. So that's the abilities and that's Ion. Let's go on to the next Titan. Welcome guys, because this is Legion, a hard-hitting Titan. His armor is very high. His speed is very low. Yes, guys, that is a freaking minigun. Yes, you heard it right, a minigun. And I think I feel nice and comforty when I'm freaking the Titan version of Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator. So let's move on to his abilities, which I know you guys are very excited to hear about. Welcome, pilots, to Legion's abilities. Ordnance power shot. Brings out 1 little blast of his gun and does medium-sized damage. Tactical mode switch, where switch in one direction, the other mode shoots in anything in his path. Defensive gun shield, putting a shield on his gun, mostly carrying out his whole entire body. And by the way, you can still shoot it. Smart core, it's like a smart turbine sentry gun, where you can put it on your robot and it does more damage and also locks on anything, even shooting on another Titan, it locks onto another Titan. So that's it for Legion. Let's get to my favorite and last one, and I'll let you guys know why it's my favorite. Here we go.